Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your Mercury Retrograde reading. I thought it was important to do this reading because we are a community of people who watch for signs, right? During Mercury Retrograde, things get a little bit wonky, so it would be terrible for us to be in a new relationship that's maybe 6 months old or something. We enter and everything's going beautifully, right? Then we enter Mercury Retrograde and the communication starts to break down, and it's just like we're not on the same page. Something's gone wrong, and we think, "Oh my God, it's a sign. I messed up. This isn't the one." Well, Mercury governs communication and things like that. So it's possible that communication's going to get wonky even within new relationships. So because we look for signs. And I know some of you have probably watched that video I did where I talked about knowledge is power. I feel like us knowing that it's possible that it's not a sign. It could just be Mercury retrograde. That's important. So, and it comes around about every quarter or so. Mercury goes retrograde. I don't understand why or how that all works, but I know that does happen. There's an article in the description below, everything you need to know about Mercury retrograde. So make sure you read that article so that you'll get more information on it and why I did this reading. Okay, so God, guides, angels, archangels, Holy Spirit, I thank you so much for Sagittarius. Thank you for the fact that they look to you for guidance, and thank you that you give us clear and concise messages, clarification, confirmation, and love, light, and prosperity in their reading. Show us what energies would be beneficial for them to focus on during the Mercury retrograde as it relates to health and wellness, family and friends, career and finance, and romantic love. Show us what these energies are. Okay, guys. With health and wellness, we have new beginnings. With family and friends, we have temptation. With career and finance, we have material harvest. And with love, we have spiritual strength. When I see this card, I get so excited because this is actually like how I see my spirit guide, Joseph. Beautiful. Okay, so now we're going to get clarifiers. And while I'm shuffling, I want to tell y'all thank you so much for all the subscribes, the likes, the comments, the shares. Like, you guys, y'all are some of my biggest encouragers, and I appreciate that so much. I have started a new video called Daily Mail. If you haven't already checked it out, please do so. It's on the same channel. It's usually in the evenings when I release it. Also, y'all, I'm going to be 3 months old October 5th, and I'm almost at 10,000 subscribers. So let me know in the comments, what can we do to celebrate that when I do hit, did I say 3,000? 10,000 subscribers. So let me know in the comments what it is that we can do to celebrate, because I'm stressing out about that, because I want to say thank you and I want to celebrate it somehow, but I'm not sure how. So let me get that card. It flew far away. And just so you know, it's the 4 of fire, just in case it shows back up. Okay. God, guides, angels, archangels, show us, clarify for us what these energies are. In health and wellness, we have new beginnings. In family and friends, we have temptation. In career and finance, we have material harvest. And in love, we have spiritual strength. Show us clearly, what are these energies about? Okay, guys, let's see. In health and wellness, we have 3 of air. We have the Hermit. And we have the Chariot. In family and friends, we have the Tower. This is all to clarify the temptation card. The World, Wow. And 9 of air. Okay. So just so you know, that's a lot of a whole lot of major arcana going on. In career and money, career and finance, we have 4 of water, 5 of fire, and Queen of earth. And in love, we have spiritual strength, and it's being clarified with 10 of earth, temptation again, and fortune's wheel. Wow. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Out of 16 cards, 8 of them are major arcana. So, Sagittarius, what is going on? And the only category that doesn't have a major arcana card is career and money. So, with health and wellness, family and friends, and love, I feel like, and that's where all the major arcana are. That's 8 out of 12 whenever you look at it that way. I feel like, of course, I know this about you because we've been reading, I've been reading for you for almost 3 months now. You guys have been going through some major things, okay? Now, retrograde it's make sure you read the article. But sometimes lost things get returned. Some of the struggles that you had early on may resurface, okay? And I feel like that's what it's not that I'm not trying to warn you to say doom and gloom. No. I'm just trying to let you know ahead of time so that you can know this is just that period. This is just that period of time that is happening right now. This isn't a sign. This is just what's happening with Mercury falling asleep to reset things. Okay, so in health and wellness, you start out with new beginnings, right? This is the same as the Fool's card, the Dreamer's card, however you want to look at it in the Tarot. This is an Oracle card, though. So, and I feel like it's saying that don't forget about the new journey that you started in your health and wellness category. That's mind, body, and spirit, right? So you might have a tendency to allow your mind to return to heartaches that have been caused in your life. During Mercury retrograde, we tend to revisit things, right? And because it's coming up in health and wellness, I want you to understand the importance of taking thoughts captive. When something like this comes up, any kind of negative thoughts come up, of betrayal, of heartache, of anything like that, we have the capacity to take that thought captive and to get rid of it because it does not serve us, okay? Especially if it's something from the past. It's done, it's gone, it's over with. So during Mercury retrograde, whenever these thoughts or people come in to trigger, to make us to make those feelings trigger within us, and we tend to revisit that in our mind, it's important to take those thoughts captive. And it might be important to withdraw, to really concentrate on some meditation and some alone time, to replenish your soul and replenish who you are. And let me tell you, health and wellness is about mind, body, and spirit, right? So it's important to understand how our mind affects our spiritual life and our physical life, okay? Yeah. So it's important it's going to be important for you to go within, and take these thoughts captive instead of revisiting them. They might try to revisit you, but you're the boss. You're the boss of what you allow yourself to think about. So take those thoughts captive, go within, release your, if you have to re-release it, release that sorrow again, release that pain again, whatever it is, and then choose to have different thoughts, better feeling thoughts. And it's, I feel like it's based on some new journey that you took recently. And I know that a lot of my Sagittarius friends have been showing up differently in the world. So your advice card is the Chariot. The Chariot for me is all about moving forward, but not just moving forward. Look at that. She's moving forward in the light. So it's like when those thoughts try to revisit you, or you try to allow you revisit those heartaches, go within, replenish your soul, then choose to walk forward out of that stuff from behind you, and let the light guide you in where you're headed. This is a 7 card, so I feel like this is about it's as much important for your spiritual being as it is for your health, as your physical being. Okay, to take those thoughts captive whenever they try to pop up. In family and friends, we have temptation. Again, I think this is going back to that same thing, that it could be family and friends that cause this to happen. It could be the temptation card is about earthly attachments and holding on to things that don't serve us. It's about negative self-sabotaging thoughts. Okay, so all this work that you've done from the last retrograde to this retrograde, all this work that you've done moving yourself in a positive direction, it's like something's going to come up, things are going to come up, and it's not just you, it's not the universe picking on you, it's just that Mercury slows down, so everything that Mercury governs slows down and tends to get wonky, just like as above so below, right? So it's not, nobody's picking on you. This is just, so don't take it personally. This is just something that's going to happen. So it's saying with this, you're going to be reminded of some tower moments with your family and friends, or family or friends. You're going to be reminded. Okay, again, remember I said take those thoughts captive? Right here, it's saying let that old stuff go so that you can continue to walk in this new cycle that you have set out for yourself. And then you have the 9 of air, and that's the advice card. The advice card. This is what's going to trigger it. The old tower. It's not a new tower coming in. But if you allow yourself to live there mentally, it could very well feel like a tower moment all over again, right? So it's asking you to remember you've started a new cycle, right? And here's your advice card. Get above those mental thoughts. The 9 of air is the same as the 9 of swords. In the 9 of swords, it's about like it's mental thoughts, communication, heartache, all that stuff, right? So this right here is showing you it's staying up at night, worrying about it, thinking about it, all of that stuff. It's like you're constantly thinking about it, worrying about it, keeps you up at night. Most of the time it's stuff you can't control anyway, right? And especially in this case, when it's something from the past coming back, it's over with. There's nothing you can do about it to change it. So it's asking you to rise above it. It's asking you to release it and to let each sword, each worry turn into doves of peace and rise above it, rise out of it. That is your advice as far as that goes. So I feel like this heartache or whatever had to do with family and friends. I feel like and it's affecting, it could affect your health and wellness, but they've given you really good advice. then this right here with family and friends, it's like that is coming back and it's going to trigger it. So it's not going to happen again. Just somebody's going to show up in your existence, or you're going to get a piece of mail, or you're going to hear a song. Something's going to trigger it, and you're going to tend to want to revisit it in your mind. And it's asking you again, take those thoughts captive, okay? And remember that you have started a new cycle. You have started a new cycle, and focus on that part of it. With your career and finances, it's asking you to focus on your material harvest, okay? Focus on the accomplishments that you've made whenever you chose yourself. There was something that you did where you decided it's about me, not in a selfish way. It's never selfish for us to put ourselves first, because whenever we can take care of ourselves, then we have the ability to take care of other people. So you at one time chose yourself and what you truly wanted to do as far as your career and finances go. You chose what was right for you, right? So it looks like, and you got above everybody's problem with it. You know, the Five of Fire is the same as the Five of Wands, and it's about like conflict and competition and everybody having an opinion about how things should be. But you overcame that, right? You overcame that, and you have been very successful about following this light. And then you get the Queen of Earth, and it's just saying, remember, not only be grateful for the harvest that you've brought in, the material harvest that you've brought in, but to also remember that there's more for you to harvest out there. And so I think that you're really good with career and finance as far as this reading goes, and as far as Mercury retrograde goes. I think that they just want you to continue to be thankful and grateful for the blessings. But you might have some work to do in these other areas, including love, okay? And not work to do like you need to get better. It's the question was, what energies would it be beneficial for you to focus on during the retrograde, right? And remember, the other thing I said was that sometimes we think, oh no, it's a sign, because we're a community of people who look for signs. We look for guidance. So whenever something pops back up, you might tend to back up with it and think, oh no, it's a sign. I did something wrong. And that's not necessarily the case during Mercury retrograde. So you're getting the spiritual strength card in love, and this is about romantic love, right? So I feel like you overcame something. It's the same as the Nine of Wands, which is, some people call it the wounded warrior. I don't necessarily call it that, but I do acknowledge that this person has been through a lot. And because this is in your love category, it's saying that you have been through a lot, but remember what you've overcome. That's what they're wanting you to focus on. Remember what you've overcome, and remember that you don't have to face any of it alone. That this guy, this little fella back here, he's not very little, is he? But he walks with you, and he holds the roof up so it doesn't fall on your head. You know, he holds the hard things for you. It reminds me of that poem that they used to be real popular, about walking on the beach, and there were two sets of footprints. It's Jesus having a conversation with a guy. There were two sets of footprints, and he says, but what happens when I see only one set of footprints? And Jesus says, that's when I carried you. And so it's the same thing. Sometimes your spirit guides actually do carry you through situations that you're trying to navigate. So what came out as clarifiers? We had the Ten of Pentacles, and this is, a lot of people would say this is about money. Yes, it's about money sometimes, but because I asked specifically about love, it's about love. And it's about generational abundance in love. Abundance that like spans generations. Love that just spans generations. It's like the legacy kind of love. And I feel like that is what you are hoping to cultivate into your life, right? But then we have this temptation card, and it's just, this is going to remind you that old things return, right? Old flames return, and we get tempted with our mind to think that, oh, they came back. It's a sign that they came back. Maybe we're supposed to be together. Whatever your thoughts are, during retrograde, don't forget to read that article. During retrograde, old flames will return during Mercury retrograde. So it's a time to remember. I hate saying it like that. Remember what happened in the first place. Remember the issues that caused it not to work out in the first place. And then understand that whenever old flames return during retrograde, it's one of two things. It is that they have truly changed and let go of whatever attachments they had. Perhaps it was, well, who knows? It could be all kinds of things. Earthly attachments that they might have had that caused this relationship to not work out. Maybe they have truly let go of all that, and you two can reunite and walk forward, right? But it also could be that they came back so that you could get closure. But only you're going to know that. Just remember that during retrograde, the communications aren't always what we think they are. So just kind of I keep hearing tread lightly, but I don't want you to be so suspicious. I just don't be hasty in making any long-term decisions about this old flame that returns. I am getting fortune's wheel. So it is very possible that this person coming back, that this is the time that it will work out for you. I can't speak to it for sure, because the other thing it could say is that fortune's will is that there is somebody else out there for you based on your desire to have the kind of love that spans generations, that spans lifetimes. It's like a legacy, and it could be this other person, this old flame that comes back. But if they're not, if they've not truly become who you intended them to be, you're not here to fix them. I said that wrong. If they have not truly become the person the kind of person that you intend to live your life with, not that you intend them to be, because you can't intend a person to be anybody except who they decide to be. So, but if they've not truly changed to become the person that you intend to live your life with, the kind of person, then this is telling you that that person really is out there, and that's something for you to focus on during the retrograde, is that this person does exist for you. So you don't have to settle. But it could be either way with that. And it might be one way for some of you and the other way for the others of you. But whatever it is, only you're going to know that, okay? Wow. Okay, Sagittarius, this is so exciting. Thank you again for all the likes and subscribes and all that stuff. I'm so excited about where this channel is going. Let me know in the comments how this is playing out for you. And let me know in the comments, what can we do to celebrate when we get to 10,000? That's exciting. Okay, God, guides, angels, archangels, Holy Spirit, thank you so much for Sagittarius, the Sagittarius Mercury Retrograde reading. Show us their PS for the Mercury Retrograde reading. What is the PS for Sagittarius? We're getting defeat. And I feel like that has a lot to do. I thought it earlier whenever I was reading this part of it, the health and wellness and the family and friends. I thought about the man in the window drinking the coffee, who felt so empty. And I feel like you've come out of that. And whatever's going to happen, something's going to trigger it to maybe bring those old feelings back up, and you're going to feel defeated. That's why it's important for you to take your thoughts captive, okay? And to make peace with those things. We really can help how we feel. I think I have a list of books I want to write. And so one day I finally said, okay, God, is this all a bunch of books or just a bunch of different chapters? Because like I have titles coming out of the wazoo. And one of them is, we really can help how we feel. We truly can help how we feel. And we do that by taking our thoughts captive. So, there's a scripture in the Bible that says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks, right? Well, what starts the feelings in the heart is the thoughts we allow to seep down into our heart. So whenever we feel defeated, right? We can think we're defeated, but we can take that thought captive and never allow it to reach here where we feel defeated. We can think we're defeated based on an old something that happened, and then we can go within and allow God and our guides and our angels and our archangels to bathe us in their warmth and their love, and reignite that light within us so that we understand we're not defeated. We're never defeated. So again, take those thoughts captive. There's the Hierophant. Okay, so that's about spiritual practices. So again, that's reiterating that card. Stay connected with your higher self. Stay connected with your if you go to church, with your church. If you go to mosque, with your mosque. If you go to temple, with your temple. If you go to the beach, with your beach. If your church is nature, then stay connected to nature. Whatever your spiritual practice is, it is going to be especially imperative during retrograde, because some little things are going to come back to try to trigger you. Again, nobody's picking on you. Let me say it differently. Some things may creep back into your experience that could trigger you. They're not coming back to trigger you, but they could trigger you, okay? So this is going to be very important for you during Mercury retrograde. And you've got the Four of Pentacles. So normally I would say the Four of Pentacles is about guarding, hanging on to things too tight and stuff like that. But I feel like in this particular case, during Mercury retrograde, do you see where that pentacle is? She's got it right above her heart, right here. It's sitting on her lap, but it covers her heart. And I feel like this is your advice card right now for Mercury retrograde, is to hold on tight to the progress you've made, and don't allow Mercury's desire to go to sleep for a little while cause you to backtrack, okay? Because you've made too much progress, and really and truly you've got super exciting outcomes headed for you. Look, in love, the fortune's wheel, that means that the right person, whether it be that old person coming back in or somebody totally new, you don't want to read the article down there, but there is that perfect person for you out there. In your finances, you're the queen of earth, so she's got lots of pentacles, so you've got lots of pentacles out there. In your family and friends, you've started a new cycle. So they're asking you to take your thoughts captive, revisit what you know to be the truth about who you are, so that you can stay on top of all those mind games we play with ourselves. And in your health and wellness. It's asking you to go within so you can continue to move forward. Okay? Sagittarius. I am so grateful for you guys, and I'm so thankful that you stopped in today to watch your Sagittarius reading. If you don't already know, I've added a daily video to this channel. It's not a reading, except I do a PS at the end. But check it out. If you like it, give it a thumbs up and share it and all that stuff. And if you don't like it, no big deal. Just make sure you check back in on your readings. Okay, Sagittarius, go out and have a super duper day. Bye.